When was the last time you went to a store and physically bought an item? What was that item?
I buy nothing. I literally think the last time I bought something was when I went with D-Rock into that Nike store in a couple episodes of DailyVee, like 4 months ago. Bought some Nikes. Like, I just don't buy shit. Like food, things I put in my mouth I buy, like gum and sunflower seeds. But I don't buy shit.
Recently I started working my own business. My question.
Sorry. Yo.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, way better. How are you? We're rolling. Let's go.
Cool. I'm painfully introverted. I recently started a business. What are your suggestions for somebody to hustle their face off when it takes everything they have to just approach a new person or situation?
To get a partner that can be the extrovert, being an introvert and being the behind the scenes person is a tremendous strategy and something that you shouldn't hide from, that you should lean in on. But you need a partner.
How do I determine if the employee is the right fit for a culture, from the culture perspective? How do I maintain and inspire loyalty?
By giving them what they want and guilting them into loyalty. 51-49 for life.
What tips would you give to an entrepreneur starting his own marketing business in a somewhat saturated market and with limited budget?
Hold your fucking breath. The odds are against you, which is perfect, because now we find out if you're good enough. There's no advice, there's just execution.
What was the...
Hi, can we do live?
Who was the most influential friend you had as a child? What did they teach you or help to guide you as you were growing up?
That's really interesting. Most influential friend, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I would say the most influential friend I had, so I was the most influential friend to everybody. This literally is like a Chuck Norris AMA, right? Like, influential friend. Who was the most influential friend? You know, it's really funny. This is gonna be such a big shout out. I really think that my brother AJ is the biggest influential friend I've ever had, because he is somebody I just respect, and I love the way he was a straight shooter. I think he made me a better manager. Like, he just inspired me, and he's 11 years younger than me, but my brother, believe it or not. I mean, I had great friends growing up, but for some reason they weren't able to really influence me. But AJ.
How do you keep your perspective alive when the shit hits the fan?
Perspective is binary. Once you realize that health is the only thing that matters, and the health of you and the 5 to 15 people you care about most, it's just shit hitting the fan is only, you know, when something is wrong there, and that you focus on, but like everything else doesn't matter.
Is it possible to create or enhance desire or an ambition for something? If so, how? Or is it you have it or you don't?
I don't fully know how to answer this question. My intuition is it has a lot more to do with you have it or you don't than people want to admit, because then it feels like we're not in control. But I don't underestimate manifesting things. But then the question becomes, is that the having it or you don't?
Right.
It's chicken and egg, right?
You gotta create your own story. I think that's
yeah, but then you have to deliver on it, or then it's a bullshit story. And me saying I'm gonna be like an NFL quarterback, tough. Me saying I'm gonna buy the Jets, that felt realistic because I thought I'd be a big enough businessman. So I think there's some practicality has to come along with it.
How do you inspire loyalty?
By providing loyalty first.
Two-part question. What is your personal favorite piece of content you've ever put out and why? And if it's different, what piece of content do you wish more people took action on?
That's super cool. My favorite piece of content I ever put out was episode 1 of Wine Library TV, because it was the first one, and all I did was, from the second I decided that it was a good idea, I did it. Like literally within hours. Within hours of deciding I wanted to do a wine show on YouTube, I did it. And that's why it's my favorite, because it was me living my thesis. The piece of content that I wish more people would consume is my podcast, #RightHook.
When you were a teenager...
What's going on over there?
Poor connection.
Keep going.
When you were a teenager, you said that you knew the internet was going to be a big thing. So you invested heavily in it. What do you think the next big thing will be in 10 years?
The internet was a unique platform. It wasn't it was so unique. The internet's one of the 5 to 7 biggest things that have happened to the human race. So I don't know if I'll ever see anything like that again. Maybe virtual reality ecosystem, right? So I'm not sure. I don't predict, I react.
How often have you been made aware that people have been turned off by what you have to say due to your intensity and honesty? What is your response to this kind of perception?
I'm fully aware, I'm 100% aware. My response is I'm a mirror. What I do makes people reflect on who they actually are, and people that don't like what they're hearing have to dig deep and figure out why, because I'm coming from a very good place and I'm suffocating bullshit. I'm also not asking for anything. Like, we need to have that conversation one day. Like, I'm not creating all this stuff for some funnel to my $1,100 ebook.
How can an influencer make money besides product placement?
By creating a product or service to sell to the audience that gives them attention. I am an influencer that has never taken $1 in product placement, but I've built a $500 million valuation agency on my influence.
How should
Like that one, Colin?
I like it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Built a $400 million valuation business on the back of my personal brand. Forget about valuation, that's just a bigger number. I built a $150 million revenue business.
How should one weigh the differences between pivoting or throwing in the towel on an idea or goal versus continuing to plow ahead?
Impossible to answer at a macro. On a micro, I'd have to spend a lot of time and figure it out. However, even if I audited it correctly, the person making that decision has to be ready for one or the other. That's the only way to make that decision.
Who are the top influencers in business, media, and technology that we should be listening to?
I have no idea. And to go back to that, It's because I'm not consuming it, so I don't want to put anybody on without really knowing what they're about. You know, whoever is bringing you value at the moment. Feel free to pivot once you've extracted the value out of that person.
What are some of your predictions as to where social media is heading in the next 5 to 10 years?
Higher.
How do you get your foot in the door with a sports agency such as VaynerSports?
By cold emailing and DMing everybody involved in the decision-making process. P.S. This will not work at VaynerSports. We're not taking on any deals.
Do you feel like college taught you valuable business tools, or do you feel like majority of your business knowledge came from other sources?
I feel like all of my business knowledge came from other sources. I learned nothing in college. From a business standpoint, I learned a lot from college, from a growing up as a man standpoint, from a swag standpoint, from a basketball standpoint, from a hip hop music standpoint. Zero business.
How do you overcome uncertainty? Time is the most finite resource we all have. How do you decide to spend yours? How to spend yours?
I spend no time debating the crippling nature of the finite resource. I spend all my time just doing and adjusting to what's happening.
Is there anything practical I can do every day to stay consistent and motivated?
One more time.
Is there anything practical I can do every day to stay consistent and motivated?
Make pretend that your family died today.
I'm a 36-year-old father and husband with 2 little girls, but looking to change my career. How would you go about this when you have people depending on you? It's tough and it's scary.
Yeah, so the way I would do that is by auditing my schedule and deploying every minute that I'm selfishly using for myself for escapism, watching a game, hanging out with buddies, and I would allocate that towards building the base of my business online with no cash risk, which AKA means producing content and a personal brand as a leverage point to the business I wanted to build. Because at the end of the day, you can't take the risk of the rent and the food and shelter and the clothes that you need to put on your family's back. So the answer to the question is to hedge. Practical hedge. It's called practical hedging. You know, you're basically sucking out all the things that you're wasting time on that isn't binary to building your business and taking care of your family. Everything else is out. That's what I did in a lot of ways. Outside of the jets, I've suffocated leisure. This is a weird day, all this downtime. I was like trying to,
You said that if someone wants
People
to
are like tired up there, Tyler. People are like tired.
You said that if someone wants to find their passion, they must try new things. How should I start? Where should I look for these possible actions? YouTube, blogs, internships?
Yep.
My business is growing. Should I continue increasing my product portfolio or focusing on improving marketing and sales?
Both.
How would you monetize a Facebook fan page that
Con
is
gets
based on-
pumped. When he likes an answer, he gets fired up.
How would you monetize a Facebook fan page that is based on a TV show?
You can run ads. I mean, there's Facebook. Go back. Facebook now has a pre-roll and post-roll ad product that they're rolling out. You'll be able to monetize through ads. You can do affiliate marketing and sell T-shirts and things of that nature for sites that sell products. You can create your own product and service and sell it through it. Guys, when you're done, there's kind of like 3 ways to make money, right? You sell services, you sell something, right? Or you sell advertising, the attention it has. Like, there's not that many ways to make money. Product, services, or attention. That's what you're selling.
What do you think of cryptocurrency, and are you planning to invest?
I have invested years ago. I plan on investing more in the future to educate myself, but this is an arena that I haven't gone deep enough in yet, and so I don't feel comfortable really putting my oomph behind it.
For someone that has what might be perceived as a boring but valuable product or service, like personal insurance, how would you recommend that they develop an audience or produce content that is interesting?
By talking about things around somebody's life and going through life, and not about the insurance itself. So maybe talking about lifestyle hacks, realities, creating content around what it's like to be 30 to 80 years old, not about the insurance itself. Bringing value in other areas, like health and wellness or vacation advice, using content as a gateway drug to the insurance product around the psychographics of the person.
How much of your effort?
You actually haven't said that a lot. Psychographic of the person, right?
Yeah, it's true. It means it's an important point. Sometimes I keep stuff to the vest.
Tell a story around a real person's life. How much of your effort or online presence are you going to shift to audio in the next 12 to 24 months?
One more time.
How much of your time and online presence will you shift to audio in the next 12 to 24 months?
One more time.
How much of your effort and online presence will you shift to audio?
A substantial amount, but it won't be shifting. It will be in addition to. When I do things, if I'm rolling, it doesn't come at the expense of something. It's added on to something.
When do you go to sleep? Do you try to go to sleep at a fixed time every day, or is it most often beyond your control?
My normal is 12 to 6. My Russian is, I understand everything. I have a heavy American accent when I speak it. I can't read or write.
If you're just starting on social, do you fire with one channel or use all guns?
You have to reverse engineer yourself. All guns is always better, but you may not be capable of that. And then you want to go with one channel, so that's a very personal question. Comes down to energy and desire. You know what? I don't talk enough about desire. I have I use ambition, right? Are they the same? In some ways, right? They're similar-ish. Help me here with some grammar.
I think that your ambition would have to match your desire.
What is desire? I want.
Like,
I feel like
desire
both of them
is
sound like I
almost more
want.
of like your dreams, or like what, like.
What's your ambition?
Yeah, but your ambition needs to match your dreams, right?
A desire can drive ambition.
I don't know, whatever it is.
Like if I
I'm just
desire to buy the Jets, but
my ambition is to buy the Jets. I feel like you are doing a bad job, Tyler, describing difference. Yeah, terrible. But I just know I have more of it than all of you. All right, let's keep going.
You say horrible times are coming from brick and mortar and retail. Do you have any suggestion on how a small brick and mortar firm could counteract this?
Yes, by developing their online presence.
I just launched a fashion beauty blog and a YouTube channel. What are the best strategies for growth? Because this is a saturated market.
Quality content, continuity, business development with people that have audiences to bring you awareness. Rinse and repeat.
What do you think about native advertising in general and about platforms like Taboola?
Native advertising as it's defined today is diminishing in its value, but native advertising is phenomenal. It means you're integrating into content in a more seamless way than disrupting the cadence of the reader, listener, or watcher.
Why Apple and not Android?
For me, Apple was just out first. I don't know if it was out first in real life, but like, I just got on the iPhone earlier than Android, and just am, like many people, a creature of habit, and have been happy with my experience. Plus, app culture really solidified it because the apps that I wanted were always available on Apple first.
If you accidentally stumbled upon enough money to buy the Jets today, would you? And if so, what would you set your sights on next?
Yes, Super Bowls.
So are you coming to Australia anytime soon?
Yes, November. Details to come.
What's your take on quality over quantity when it comes to content or product variety?
Both. Am I right about Australia? November, right? November 7th and 9th, I think.
No, like that. Wait, huh?
Thoughts on Anchor and its new experience with audio/podcast and the opportunity for creators?
Over the last 48 to 72 hours, I've heard a ton about it in my social, but I've been so busy promoting, planning the apps, and running VaynerMedia, I haven't had a chance to look. I'll look at it next week. I need somebody to figure, actually, I need everybody to figure that out.
Gotcha.
I need you to figure that out.
Gotcha.
What should I do if the business I want to start already exists?
Do it better. You mean like every fucking business on earth, Luke?
Exactly.
What are the habits or principles you'd focus on most right now?
I'm doing 30.
Work ethic, listening. That's it.
When's your next book coming out?
January 2018. Tyler's looking up ambition.
Crushing
much.
it. Crushed it.
It's crushing it.
Desires in the definition of ambition. So desire is wanting something to happen. The ambition is pretty much
The framework
equation
of it?
desiring plus the
The
execution.
blueprint?
Okay.
Is that the blueprint? No, that's a layout, right? That's a plan.
So desire is wanting something to happen. Ambition is the desire plus the execution.
Got one more. How do you get yourself out of a funk?
Perspective. Cool.
Yeah?
Good, let's get out of here.